going for Surf. That's going to take both the Nidoqueen out, surely. Shiny Nidoqueen is down, regular Nidoqueen is down, and Scizor on that last turn has secured its place in the quarterfinals against Nidoking. Hello everybody and welcome back to MetroMania. In the last episode, it was Sayonara Nidoqueen over to Scizor, moving on to the quarterfinals to face Nidoking. Bit sad that we're not getting Nidoking versus Nidoqueen, not gonna lie, but hey, the show must go on. Nidoking will be looking for revenge against Scizor in the quarterfinals, but of course we've got one more quarterfinal left to find the competitors for. Let's find out one of them as ELECTIVIRE takes on ARCANINE. So here we go, ELECTIVIRE versus ARCANINE for a place in the fourth of our MetroMania Season 12 quarterfinals. Now, ARCANINE definitely has the bulk factor in this. Also doesn't help that ARCANINE, one of the ARCANINE, the regular ARCANINE, intimidates at the start of every battle. That's putting ELECTIVIRE at a bit of a disadvantage here. But it does have the physical prowess to kind of overcome that, although do bear in mind it's starting off at -1 attack, so we'll see how it goes. Here's a dive from the regular ARCANINE there to start things off, gonna hide out of the way of these ELECTIVIRE. Now everybody's tied for speed in this one as it stands. Everybody's got base 95 speed, so anybody could move at any point at the moment. We saw a failed Dream Eater there from the shiny ELECTIVIRE, I believe. And shiny ARCANINE going for hard and raising its defense. Now, coupled with that attack drop from the Intimidate, that's going to make things really difficult for ELECTIVIRE. We see Trick Room, just as I was saying about the speed tie, Trick Room, which has absolutely no effect. Tell you what does have an effect, hit the subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you never miss any of the content on this channel. Definitely do that. You don't want to miss WTF moments or Siri battles or more MetroMania. That would be a tragedy. There's the dive from the regular ARCANINE taking effect on the shiny ELECTIVIRE there. And now shiny ARCANINE is going to go for Blizzard. It's avoided by shiny ELECTIVIRE, but it's going to land on the regular ELECTIVIRE there. Is it getting the freeze? It's not getting the freeze. So over to shiny ELECTIVIRE now. Ready and raring to go. Old Blue Eyes with Wild Charge. I mean, if ever there was a move for an ELECTIVIRE to use, Wild Charge is up there. Not a great deal of damage because of the attack drop and the defense boost. And a little cheeky bit of recoil damage there. But any damage is better than no damage. We get a Bone Meringue. That'll be super effective from the regular ELECTIVIRE on the regular ARCANINE there, so the one that doesn't have boosted defense, dealing almost half of ARCANINE's max HP with those two hits there. So that was a great choice of move there by the regular ELECTIVIRE. What's going to happen next as shiny ARCANINE will start off this next turn, prepping its Metronome, and it's going to go for Mega Kick, but it's avoided by shiny ELECTIVIRE, who now gets a chance to retaliate. What's it going to do here? It's going to go for Whirlwind. That fails in these Metromania battles. Unfortunately, my friend, that was a wasted move. Over to regular ARCANINE, who's going to go for Howl and increase its attack and its ally Pokemon's attack by 1 stage apiece, making them basically now more like ELECTIVIRE's offensive stats rather than an ARCANINE. So they've kind of switched everything around. It's very confusing. Here we see a Tickle from the regular ELECTIVIRE there onto the ARCANINE there, which is going to bring its attack right back down there, as well as its defense by 1 stage, which kind of nullifies the Intimidate now. So the regular ARCANINE is definitely the weak link of its team right now. Over to shiny ELECTIVIRE now, who's going to go for Sludge Bomb, maybe hoping to poison one of these ARCANINE here. Goes for the shiny, which is the bulkier one of the two right now. Doesn't get the poison, unfortunately. So now regular ELECTIVIRE is going to follow up with a Venoshock. That would have been an amazing play. Is that on the shiny? That would have been amazing if they'd have got the poison. That would have been a knocked out ARCANINE right there. That was a great play, going for the Sludge Bomb and the Venoshock. Here we see Round from the shiny ARCANINE onto the regular ELECTIVIRE there, bringing it down into the yellow, less than half its max HP. And now we have regular ARCANINE to follow up, who's going to go for Arm Thrust. And how many is it going to get on the Arm Thrust? There's one. And there's the second one. Are we getting a third? It was a critical hit, but are we getting a third? We are getting a third there. And just the 3 hits there with the Arm Thrust on shiny ELECTIVIRE, who isn't looking so fresh right now. Maybe needs to restore some of its HP or start going on the offensive against these ARCANINE. Here we see the regular ARCANINE here going for Dragon Breath, maybe hoping... Oh no, you can't paralyze, so no paralysis hoped for. Just hoping for a good hit. And it was a good hit. Takes down shiny ELECTIVIRE. We're down to just 1 ELECTIVIRE, 2 ARCANINE right now. That was a great play with that Dragon Breath. Over to ELECTIVIRE now, who's going to go for Ingrain. Not a bad shout there. Restore your HP at the end of each turn. Just that little bit is going to give you that little bit more staying power, and you're going to need that if you're going to take down one, if not both, of these Arcanine. Although Strength Sap from Shiny Arcanine, reducing Electivire's attack stat even more, and what's more, using Electivire's attack stat, the number of it, to raise its HP. My word, that was absolute. What a great play. What a fantastic play by Shiny Arcanine there. It's really on the ball here. We saw the Ingrain restoring the HP of Electivire there, but Electivire is a sitting duck right now. Can't rely on its physical prowess that it normally would use so effectively. We see Vital Throw from Shiny Arcanine onto Electivire there for a big hit, bringing it down to less than half its max HP. Now Electivire needs a miracle right here as it goes for Acid Armor, further increasing its defense. That's not a bad shout at all. Protect yourself from these, these physically evil Arcanines right now, who both have +1 attack. That's why they're physically evil. Here we see a Fell Stinger. That won't do much damage from the regular Arcanine there, but it is bringing Electivire closer and closer to that danger zone. It's still in the yellow right now, but it's definitely in peril. Look at the Arcanine's HP, both of the Arcanine. There's so much HP on that side right now. We see regular Arcanine going for Sing, looking to... Oh, and it's going to land. It's going to put Electivire to sleep. This is not good for Electivire at all. It's a sitting duck on the battlefield. Its HP is low. It's fast asleep. It can't do anything. Has round 1 gone to Arcanine? Sometimes we speak too soon in these MetroMania battles, but it's looking very dire. We see low sweep from Shiny Arcanine onto Electivire there. It's a big hit, puts Electivire in the danger zone and drops its speed. So even if it wakes up this turn, it's going to have to move after both the Arcanine have moved. That's not good for Electivire at all. It has to wait out the next 2 attacks, and that could be detrimental. That could be all she wrote. Shiny Arcanine goes for Flame Wheel, and you've got to imagine that's going to take down Electivire. And of course it does, so let's hear from our sponsors.
Oh my god, it's the original Ace Trainer Liam, and he's here to talk to you about GFuel! GFuel is an energy formula with barely any calories, 0 sugar, and a whole heap of wonderful flavors like the lovely, luxurious Nemesis tea. That is my favorite flavor that I'm drinking today. Oh, it's so bloody lovely. Go get yourself some GFuel. Use code ACE when you do, and you'll help support this channel while saving 10% on your order. And isn't that just bloody beautiful? Remember though, GFuel is for over 18s only because children don't need caffeine. They're annoying enough as it is, and because it contains caffeine, drink it responsibly. Don't be a dickhead, dickhead.
And welcome back to round 2. Arcanine is up 1-0. Electivire is definitely in trouble here. They need to equalize in this round, otherwise they are going home. Well, they won't go home straight away. They'll go to a Pride round. But we don't like Pride rounds. We want to go. We want to see the equalizer, Electivire. We want to see... I mean, I should be impartial, really, shouldn't I? But I know you guys want to see sudden death in the final round, but... it's all up to Electivire, really. Aurora Veil is going to fail because no hail is in effect. So over to Shiny Electivire, try and rectify that mistake. Goes for Power Trick. So it's going to swap its attack and its defense. I mean, I don't know thoroughly how the calculations work there with the with regards to the attack drop from the Intimidate. We see Lock On from the regular Arcanine. All I know is if Power Trick goes on base power, then maybe it's good. I mean, it certainly gives a decent chunk of defense to Electivire. We see Dazzling Gleam from Shiny Arcanine, which is going to damage both these Electivire. Decent chunk of damage on both. A great start by the Arcanine team, to be honest. That lock-on's going to pay dividends later on, you have to imagine. Shiny Arcanine starts off the next turn. That's the beauty of the speed tie there. Goes for Pluck. It's not going to be very effective, but it does mean that Shiny Arcanine is going to eat a lovely little Leper Berry that it's stolen from that Electivire. So now, if this match goes on long, that Electivire will be the first Pokemon to be at risk of struggling. Now we see the regular Arcanine here going for Defense Curl. So once again, we have one of the Arcanine raising its defense after that Intimidate drops the attack of the Electivire, really taking Electivire's bread and butter, which is its physical prowess, out of its playbook. We see Self-Destruct from regular Electivire. It's had enough. That's going to damage everybody on the field, including its partner. Didn't do a great deal of damage, but of course takes itself out of contention. And how is that going to play out for Shiny Electivire, who's now on its own? Who goes for Metal Sound, which is going to lower the special defense harshly on that regular Arcanine. But wow, okay, what's going to happen from here? It does not look good at all for the Electivire team. Like, Shiny Electivire is at just over half its max HP. It really shouldn't be against two Pokemon right now. Here comes Shiny Arcanine, though, with Fusion Bolt, which is an electric attack, so it's not going to deal as much damage as Arcanine probably would have hoped, but it's probably a godsend for Shiny Electivire. Of course, if that would have been on the regular Electivire, had it been on the field, that would have activated Motor Drive, but of course, Shiny Electivire has Vital Spirit. As we see, it can't be put to sleep. So that was a great example. Thank you very much, Arcanine. And here comes Electivire, though, firing back with Psychic. Is it going to be on the Arcanine that it got the special defense drop on? It's not. It goes for the wrong Arcanine. Does bring it down to less than half its max HP. But you really should have used that on the Arcanine that you prepped with the Metal Sound before. Here comes that same Arcanine that you should have gone for with an Uproar. So it's going to lock itself into Uproar for the next couple of turns. But how much damage does it do? It does a lot of damage. Shiny Electivire is in the danger zone right now. It needs to do something about that Uproaring Arcanine. We see Leaf Tornado avoided by Electivire, but if Electivire doesn't take out that Arcanine, then it's all over for the Electivire team. Goes for Night Slash onto which Arcanine? I believe it's the Shiny. Focusing on the Shiny once again, barely does any damage there and activates Justified, which raises the attack of Shiny Arcanine. So regular Arcanine, if Electivire doesn't take it out, which it isn't, that Uproar is going to take out Electivire, and it's 2-0, which means that Arcanine is going through to the quarterfinals. We are into a Pride round now. Poor Electivire just couldn't get out the gate. Arcanine knows that it's going through to the quarterfinals. It will face Umbreon or Kingdra in those quarterfinals. Of course, we'll find out next week whether Umbreon or Kingdra goes through. And for those who are like, wait, Gary didn't have a Kingdra. How is that one of Gary's Pokemon? You need to pay more attention to the Pokemon anime, my friend, and you'll know all about Gary's Kingler. But here we see Double Edge starting off strong. The regular Arcanine there. Big damage to Shiny Electivire to start things off. And now it's over to Shiny Electivire for the follow-up. What will it do to retaliate? It's got to be pissed at its partner right now. We see Round from Shiny Electivire onto the same Arcanine that attacked it for a little bit of chip damage there, but not a great deal done at all. Here's the regular Electivire who's going to go for Guard Swap. It's just mucking about at this point. Regular Electivire really didn't bring its A-game here. It really didn't try. Its team was already at a disadvantage, and it didn't even try. Here comes the Shiny Arcanine with Torment, which means that the Shiny Electivire will be able to use Metronome every other turn, and every other turn it will use Struggle and take 25% recoil damage. So that's not looking good for Shiny Electivire here. We see Lava Plume from the Shiny Arcanine there, which is going to land on both the Electivire for a good chunk of damage. That's and burns the regular Electivire, which means that it can barely do anything. Shiny Electivire is going to struggle. Barely any damage to Arcanine. Leaves itself on 1 hit point with that recoil damage. And now regular Arcanine, raring to go, goes for Magnetic Flux. That's going to fail, though. And now, regular Electivire needs to do something. This is for your pride, lads. Goes for Power Split. It's just mucking about. It really doesn't care at this point. We don't like to see this lack of sportsmanship in Metromania. There's the burn damage it so rightly deserves. And just what a bad play by both these Electivire. Now we see a regular Arcanine starting off the next turn. What will it do? Goes for Explosion. And how much is this going to do to both its partner Pokemon and to both the Electivire? Let's have a look. That's massive damage. It takes out both the Electivire. Arcanine is gone. Electivire is gone. Shiny Electivire is gone. It's a clean sweep. 3-0. Well done to the Arcanine team. An absolute clean sweep there. They are your Heat 7 winners, and they'll be going through to the quarterfinals to face Umbreon or Kingdra. What an absolutely dominant display by Arcanine. What a great team. So join us next week. It will be the final heat. Umbreon versus Kingdra for a place against Arcanine in the quarterfinals.
So that will do it for this episode of Metromania. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. Share this video with a friend. Head to twitch.tv/AceTrainLiam for all of my live streams. And of course, use code ACE for money off GFuel. But until next time, I'm AceTrainLiam. Keep on training.